How are you dressed?
In white,
White what?
loose white clothes.
Okay, what about the waist now, above the pants?
Well, it's just like a robe. It's not really a robe, but a loose clothing with a sash, like for a belt.
And what about on the shoulders?
Well, it's just short sleeved. It's warm.
What's the name of your planet?
It's just we live there and I don't see any mountains, but I see the name. I have a child.
One child?
Yeah, a little boy.
His name is...
I just don't have a feeling for names. I have, when you want somebody and they know when you want them, sort of. I mean, I just don't have a feeling for names.
Alright, if someone calls to you, what do they call you?
I just haven't heard anybody speak. I don't know if you have to speak. It seems like kind of a simple place, but there's obviously, there was light at my book, so it obviously mechanized, or perhaps much more than that even. I don't recall people speaking to each other, though. I mean, they seem to. Everybody knows each question. You know what's going on, but I don't really see. There was singing, but there wasn't actually people conversing with each other. You just sort of knew, I guess. I'd be sitting on a stone or a bench, and they'd be sitting down, and I'm explaining, but I don't really see myself talking to them. Think it's a stone. I guess limestone, but it's whiter. I guess that's what it's made of.
What about the perimeter?
Well, there's from supports from the sides or arches up to the ceiling, but it's not a regular dome. I haven't seen that kind of dome before.
Take a good look. How far across is that dome?
Oh, goodness. It looks like it's 200 feet the long way, and maybe more than that, maybe 250, and maybe 150 feet wide. It's a huge room, very...
Okay, now how is it lightened?
Just, really, it's just a glow from the ceiling. I mean, there's like the area that's light, and then there's darker, like it's been painted. But the paint, that's light. It seems like it just doesn't need any light. The room's bright. Maybe it's coming from the windows, but there doesn't seem to be any shadows in the room.
What you're saying is that it seems as if the atmosphere in the room is glowing there?
Well, yeah, just like it's bright. I don't see any shadows, like if there was a light source.
Uh-huh. Now I want you to listen inside that big room. What kind of sounds do you hear?
Nothing in that room, but they're singing someplace.
Very quietly, singing off in the distance?
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's some kind of...
It's more like a kind of choir, a little choir like. I can't place the words. It's just, like a sort of praise. A sort of, something like you'd hear in a choir. Praise to whom? Well, to God? I'm sure that's who it is, it's sort of a happy thing to do when people get together and sing. I see myself sitting over a book and just reading. History? Well, I don't know. Practical work, science? What do you study? Art? The arts? Just great books. Big books. Do you have supervised study in classes or? Well, in the morning there's a teacher, and in the afternoon or in the late evening, I study. Is there an examination? No exams. You just want to learn. You want to learn. It's like you can't learn enough. Nobody has individual homes? Well, no, this big place is their home. This is home. Well, this is one purpose, like it's like a school or a teaching place to learn those who want to learn it in depth and those that come when they can. But this isn't like a ruling type people by any means. This isn't. Like the people have to come here. It's not a class system or anything. Well, let's see. I don't see myself there in different states of consciousness. There are prayerful times in the morning and at night. You have them in your room, and then you have others before meals. Before the morning meal, and then briefly before the evening meal. But when when the food was brought, but then afterwards it's in a room, like a private sort of devotional, except that you're not like in meditation, and there are times when the whole group gets together other than meals, just like the whole place is like a family, I would guess, because like I said, you don't feel that attached necessarily to one person. You feel attached to everybody. They're all like in your family. Okay, now, the people that leave at the heliport, you have no idea where they go. When I say these ships come, it's not like hordes of people just rushing off and rushing back on or anything. It's just, how should it lands there, and the doors open, and the people come out, and people come in. They're allowed to go on the grounds, In other words, this is their place too, but they come as visitors, sort of, to it. How long do they stay there? A day. There's a place, a flat place, like that's stone out in front, but I don't see roads coming to it. For it, I see a huge helicopter pad, for instance. But all right, I want you to describe that ship and what makes it go. I don't, it seems like it's probably a spaceship, but I don't see it coming from space. It's sort of suddenly almost being there. I don't see it like zipping off or coming in, across the horizon or anything. Just describe what it looks like. Yeah, well, it's It's longer than it is wide, and it's not real thick compared to the length dimensions and the width dimensions. It's not like it's not spinning when it comes down because it's a little sort of like oblonged, or it just sort of appears and sets down, you know? I mean, I don't see it actually coming into view from smaller and getting larger. Why are you on Earth? What is the purpose of this life? What do you intend to do here? What were you assigned to do here? It seems like to help. Helping with what? Something in particular? Something? Have you already helped in this field, or is the problem yet to come that you are to help with? It hasn't happened yet. What do you anticipate? Just great needs. What would happen to require so much help from you that you know about? Spiritual growth? Spiritual development? Physical needs? Well, not the... I get the feeling of some people that are lost, you know. Can you help them? This is your mission? I feel like that's what I need to do. Help those people. Which people? The ones that are lost. Is this a particular group? No. Just in general. Just people.